Yo,
Yo. What we all saying? What we all saying? Let me get myself in order here. StreamYard chat. You know me with StreamYard. Here we go. There we go. Right. Yes. I think we're good. Are we good? You can all hear me fine, loud and clear. Let me know. Can you hear me? And then we'll have a chat about the latest news, man. It's all popping off. It is all popping off. Let's get some house rules out of the way first, people. There's 292 in the building. Please smash a like on the stream. All of your support massively helps. And subscribe if you're new around here. We just hit 79k on the channel, so we're on the road to 80k. And as always, we will smooth start. I know, man. I'm not the techie boy around here. Jordy Porty is, but listen. 80k is next. When we hit 80k, big giveaway, shirt giveaway for all of you to get involved in. So subscribe if you're new around here. But listen, it's all popping off in the world of transfers right now, people. It's all popping off. Record-breaking transfer bids. Players rejecting the record-breaking transfer bid. I thought the Caicedo shit last night was mental enough, and I was kind of enjoying the fact that we weren't part of the Caicedo stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's madness going on, and City can kind of just sit back and relax and go, haha. Big heritage Liverpool have been turned down. But we are in our own transfer saga, if you want to call it that. And it is with Mr. Just Sold My Car to Lucas Paqueta. I love that song, man. I love that song. Do the Paqueta dance. I will be dancing if we sign him. But it's all popping off with Paqueta. We know over the last sort of week or so that City have shown concrete interest in Lucas Paqueta. We've had a few bids or not formal, verbal approaches sort of turned down. But as of today, we have somewhat of a breakthrough. We knew that Paqueta's head was turned by Manchester City. He wanted to come to Manchester City. And can you blame Lucas Paqueta for wanting to come to Manchester City? Because we are prestigious right now, I think it's fair to say. We have the trophies, we have the manager, we have the team. There's very few clubs in world football right now have the pulling power that Manchester City do. So, of course, he's going to want to come. Now, I'm going to get into the news and the tweets, and we're going to have a good chat. I'm going to see what you lot have to say, and we'll decide if the way City are approaching this is right or wrong. Valuations, contracts, etc. Super chat here from Anthony. He says, with the $2, can we just buy him now? Anthony wants Lucas Paqueta. I want Lucas Paqueta, but like I always say to you guys, I don't know if it is because I like his song or if it's because I actually want him as a footballer, or maybe a bit of both. Have you finally got the keys to CX? They are a shared set of keys. We have multiple keys cut, so I don't have the master key. You know what I'm saying? And as you can tell, it's probably not the best idea to give me the keys because my technical ability isn't great. Listen, Lucas Paqueta. Let's see what he's saying. So the news on City Xtra Twitter this morning popped off. Freddie, who's in the chat, very kindly sent it to me and made me aware. I was kind of expecting a semi-calm day. Just a calm day. We play Burnley this evening. Get ready for the match. Sit down, watch it, give my thoughts, give my reviews. But no, City have come out with news on Lucas Paqueta. I've got to stop doing that, man. Breaking. Lucas Paqueta has agreed a 6-year contract with Man City. Negotiations between the two clubs continue, but Man City are optimistic given the player's willingness to join the club. So according to that journalist, there is no issues over personal terms. Paqueta has given the green light to a 6-year deal at Manchester City. Now, he is already, or as of right now, on a very long contract at West Ham, isn't he? I believe he's contracted till 2027 at West Ham, and he's now agreed a 6-year deal at Manchester City. And according to this, the negotiations are still ongoing, but the player wants to join the club. And he follows up with this by saying, City have made an offer of 85 million euros. It's really important to remember that there's quite a difference between euros and pounds right now, currencies and that. So 85 million euros plus a further 10 in bonuses to West Ham, who want 110 million euros without bonuses. Lucas Paqueta has already spoken with Pep Guardiola. So there's quite a few things to sort of break down there. The first thing I want to touch on is the fact that Paqueta has spoken with Guardiola. If Guardiola has directly spoken with Lucas, I'm going to stop doing that. If he's spoken directly with Lucas Paqueta, it's quite clear then that Pep Guardiola really wants Lucas Paqueta. And I always say to you guys that anybody Pep really wants, I feel the club should, do their best or almost go out of their way to go and get the player. But we do have to talk about valuations here because it's quite a controversial topic. The transfer market, as I said at the top of the screen, or the top of the stream, people, the valuations are crazy these days. The market is the craziest it has ever ever been. You're seeing players that, let's be real, are not worth the prices they're going for those prices. Is Declan Rice a 105 million pound player? No. Is Moises Caicedo a 110 million pound player? No. Is Lucas Paqueta a 110 million euro player? No. I'm going to put that on record now, people. Lucas Paqueta is not worth 110 million pounds, but we really have to remember the market. You know what I mean? It's so hard to always get yourself a great deal or a bargain, like the Kovacic for 25, Haaland for 51, even though everyone else likes to say it was a lot more, but we know it's 51 million. So would we have to overpay for Paqueta if we really want him? If Pep really wants him? Undoubtedly, we will have to pay for Paqueta. David Moyes, in his press conference, I believe it was yesterday, spoke on the Paqueta situation. He confirmed City have made an approach for Lucas Paqueta, but it is nowhere near the valuation that West Ham have on Lucas Paqueta. Now, what does this mean? I think West Ham have pretty well every right to demand whatever they want for Paqueta because he's their player. They have him until 2027. They hold literally the trump card in this situation. West Ham hold literally the trump card. If they don't like our valuation, they can just say, go away. So, he's our player. We don't have to they're not going to allow themselves to be bullied by Manchester City for a player that they have contracted until 2027. So, it's kind of tough. So City are going to have to try and maneuver some sort of a deal here because Pep wants the player, obviously. But 6 years, that's agreed. Another super chat here from King Haaland, the real GOAT. Let's see what you guys are saying, people. Get in your thoughts on this Paqueta news. I'm going to keep telling you my thoughts as well as we go along because there's a lot to dissect. Hugh, I don't rate Paqueta. City should use Palmer. Well, Palmer is obviously attracting a lot of attention from other clubs in the Premier League. And Fabrizio said a couple of days ago regarding the Paqueta deal that there is potential for a player to be involved, to go the other way. Could that be Cole Palmer? How would you guys feel about Cole Palmer going to West Ham as a make way for this deal, whether it be a loan or a permanent move? I've made it clear to you guys the last few days that I would like to keep Cole Palmer. I think he has a future in the squad. I think playing on the right wing. But if maybe a loan move for a season to West Ham was to help us knock off some of that valuation for Lucas Paqueta, would it be worth selling or letting Cole Palmer go down there for a season? I would say it has to be a loan move. I would not allow Cole Palmer to go on a permanent basis. We're getting up to 600 people in the building. Please, as I always say, smash a like on the stream. Massively helps us grow the channel, and subscribe if you're new around here on the road to 80k. So the Paqueta thing is absolutely crazy right now. The fact that City have agreed personal terms with Paqueta, it's obviously a big thing. It says that Guardiola has spoken with Paqueta. It's obviously a big thing. But I think if we want to get closer to the valuation that we deem fair, or that we deem right, that our own valuation, there may be a situation where we need Lucas Paqueta to really put the pressure on West Ham, because as it stands right now, West Ham aren't under any pressure. West Ham do not have to sell to us. They do not have to do anything, especially if Lucas Paqueta is not kicking up any fuss, especially if Lucas Paqueta is not putting pressure on West Ham. If Lucas Paqueta wants to sign the 6-year contract and wants the deal to go through, he's going to have to apply some sort of pressure and make it totally clear that he wants this move and he needs this move. For him, he's probably looking at this Paqueta saying this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I know we have shown interest in Paqueta before, we wanted him before, but this is it. City are actually coughing up the cash. They're willing to put a bid on the table. They've offered the contract. He's accepted it, 6 years. So he's saying, I need to make this happen. It's probably only Manchester City and Real Madrid in world football right now that have the ability to fully turn a player's head and make him put pressure on his club to get out. So if we're miles off West Ham's valuation and we still want to persist with this transfer and get it done, we need Paqueta to put a bit of pressure on West Ham, or else City are going to have to cough up the cash, or else City are simply just going to have to cough up the cash, because according to David Moyes, we're nowhere near their valuation. It's all fine and well getting 6-year deals agreed with Paqueta, but we ain't getting them wearing this shirt this season. You want to see Paqueta wear this shirt this season, City going to have to cough up the cash is what I'm saying. City are going to simply have to cough up the cash, or else negotiate. You know what I mean? Negotiate. I mean, Vinay says 80 million max. What? I mean, chat, I can't do a poll because I'm technically not good enough at this stuff right now. But please send in your valuations. What would be the max you would be happy to pay for Lucas Paqueta? I can't decide myself. I've made it clear already. He's definitely not a 110 million euro transfer. Yeah, remember the Leipzig director said the same thing about Vardiol. I mean, City went hard-nosed. City played hardball for Vardiol and kind of got a pretty good deal for ourselves, or we did get a good deal for ourselves. People saying 85, 90, 65, 70. The 80 to 90 region is kind of where we're at. 80 million euros. Mohammed here, the super chat says, I think Tiki will get it for around 90 million. How would you feel about 90 million to be spent on Lucas Paqueta? It's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money. I don't think he's a 90 million pound player either. But I'm so aware of the fact that the market is totally distorted. The market is totally, yeah, Julia on the chat says the market's crazy. The market's totally crazy. Like 10 years ago, you're paying 90 million for the best. You're paying 90 million. You're getting the best in his position. 90 million now, you're looking at, you know, people like Paqueta. You're looking at people like Declan Rice isn't far off that valuation, 105, whatever it was. 95 plus. I think there'll have to be add-ons. I think City, Cheeky, we know, is a very good negotiator. Cheeky has a very good track record when it comes to negotiating, or at least recent negotiations, you know, Vardy, and that. So he'll have to throw in some sort of add-ons. People saying Calvin Phillips. Would you throw Calvin Phillips into negotiation? Once again, we spoke about this. If Phillips don't want to go, you can't send Phillips down the road. You can't force Phillips. Paqueta clear of Rice. That's the thing, man. West Ham, like, we really have to understand that West Ham hold the trump card here. They've already sold Declan Rice this summer for crazy money. So it's not as if it's been a bad summer of business for West Ham. But do they want to lose Paqueta for a cut price when they don't have to? No, of course they don't. And that's totally understandable. Ambat here, the super chat says, rank these strikers. Rasmus, Ferguson, Balogun, Vlahovic. I don't know enough about Rasmus Højlund. I don't know enough about Balogun. Vlahovic has been a bit underwhelming. So I'm going to go Ferguson, Vlahovic, Balogun, Højlund. Don't know enough about some of the players. I know Ferguson's a top player. Another super chat here. Allow Paqueta. City should spend 100 million on Vinicius Jr. Listen, King Haaland, I tell you now for a fact, 100 million will not get Vinicius out of Real Madrid. 100 million ain't getting Vinicius out of Real Madrid. I love Vinicius. I would love Vinicius. But as it stands, the player we are putting most pressure on, or we're putting most of our attention to, is Paqueta. A 6-year deal is pretty exciting. Do you think that's too long? Is that too long of a deal to offer him? I don't know what the wages are. I don't know what his wages would be like. What, you know, City take great pride in their wage structure. What kind of, what other player in our squad's wages would you be happy to give to Paqueta? If he's agreed a 6-year contract, it means wages have been discussed and wages have been agreed. Super chat here from Spells. Keep getting your thoughts, people. I am reading the chat. Apparently, West Ham want 80 million from now, as his release clause next year is 85 million. He's not worth more than 50. De Jong could be bought for the same money. I've seen a lot of you are big fans of Frankie De Jong. The thing is, if he's 85 million next year, why would they want 80 million from now? Because it means they can hold on to him for another year, get another year's service out of him, and get 85 for him next year. You know what I mean? I think it's a tricky one. I think if they're going to sell him this summer, it's at the bare minimum more than what his release clause is, because they could get another year's service out of him and sell him next year for 85. So they're going to be looking for 90 upwards. 90 upwards. That's going to be the starting point. David Moyes seems, like I said, based off his comments, that City are nowhere near the valuation. Nowhere near the valuation. Like I said, chat, it's all fine and well having contracts agreed, but we ain't getting them if we don't cough up the cash or negotiate. I mean, 85 million plus a further 10 in bonuses. What's 85 million euro in pounds? What do we say about 85 million euro in pounds is about 76, 77 maybe. So we're just above the 70. We'll call it just above the 75 million pound mark. 67, Matthew says, yeah. 70 million. It's somewhere between 73, 75. It's somewhere between 70 and 80. We're somewhere in the 70 to 80 bracket, whereas I think West Ham are holding out for the 90 upwards. I think if we want to go and get Paqueta, you're looking at 90 upwards. And is he worth that? Is he worth that? I'm constantly asking myself that, and I'm constantly saying no. I'm constantly saying no. How do you feel about 90, Chad? How do you feel about 90? Because that's probably what it's going to take, in my opinion. I'm convinced they will simply not let us have him unless we're willing to pay more than his next year release clause. Will he be a starter? Well, where does he fit in? Where does he fit in? He's a midfielder. He's versatile. But does that mean Foden plays more on the wing? I mean, we have to get the fucking deal done first before we start playing him anywhere. Another super chat here. Big up to all of you for the super chats. Honestly, thank you so much. Need some Joga Bonito in the squad. Just sold my car to Lucas Paqueta. I do, man. I'm telling you. We told you the other day, didn't we? That next week we're starting fan cams for at least, I think, all of the Premier League home games anyway. We're starting fan cams here on City Extra. I'll be doing them outside the Etihad. Tell you, if we sign Paqueta, I'm going to get Big Steve. I'm going to get MCFC lads. I'm going to get Martin from Mancunian Way. All these lads doing Brazilian samba dances. If you want to see Big Steve do a Brazilian samba dance, you better hope City go and sign Paqueta, because that's something I think we all need in our lives. Big Steve. Imagine Big Steve samba dancing. Pay the money, says Jimmy. 90 million. Well, I know it sounds very cutthroat or a bit pushy, but my whole thing is right now, while we have Pep Guardiola, which we won't forever, I hate to break it to you people, Pep will eventually leave, and he's successful right now. I think you have to give him everything he wants. You have to, if you have a special manager like Pep Guardiola, I think you have to give him everything he wants, because there's no reason not to. Even if it is slightly above your valuation or slightly more than you would like to spend, I think because of the situation we're in right now, we're blessed to have him. You have to give him what he wants. Mohammed here with the super chat says, if Foden don't start today, I fear for him. We did a predicted 11 last night, and I forget, did we start Foden? I want Foden to play more this season. But you know what I'm saying, chat? If Pep wants Paqueta, even if we deem it to be slightly more than we would like to pay for him, I say give Pep Paqueta. You have to trust Pep Guardiola. There's no other manager in the world right now I would say this for. There really isn't. Any other manager at Manchester City, I would not be going as blunt as this and saying, I don't agree with the valuation, but give it to him. Give the successful manager whatever tools he needs to sustain success. It's not about what valuations we deem are correct or incorrect. If Pep wants Paqueta, get Pep Paqueta. I know. Trust me, chat. I know. Me being a smart genius businessman, my brain's screaming at me. I'm not a smart genius businessman, but my brain's screaming at me saying 90 million for Paqueta. Are you mad? Pep's mad, but Pep wins trophies, people. Pep wins trophies. You gotta trust them. 650 in the building. Crazy numbers. Big up to each and every single one of you who are here right now. Smash a big like on the stream and subscribe if you're new around here. We're on the road to 80k. Big thing is coming, like I've already told you. Fan cams next week. We'll get Big Steve Brazilian dancing if we sign Paqueta. Trust me, I'll get Steve dancing if we sign Paqueta. He hasn't agreed to it, but I'll tell him. I'll tell him. But like I'm saying, let's fast forward slightly, right? Let's fast forward slightly. If we do sign Paqueta, where do you guys want him to play? And who comes out of the starting 11? If we're going to go and spend at least £90 million, which is the kind of number I'm putting out there, saying it's at least 90 because it's above their release clause next year, where does Paqueta play? Where does he play? He plays midfield, I know. Who comes out? We all want to see more of Foden. Foden needs to stake a place in the starting 11. Foden must, in my opinion, make himself a main man this season. And I believe he will. But who does Paqueta come in for? Kovacic to make way? It seems harsh because Kovacic has had a pretty good preseason. He looks like he's doing very well. Left back. Playing left back. Kevin role. Well, this is it, chat. This is it. This is a conversation I don't like to have. But Kevin De Bruyne, he's not getting any younger. Is it wise for us to spam Kev this season? No. We need Kev fit for the big moments, the big games. Could Paqueta be a rotation with De Bruyne? Because we always talk about how it's De Bruyne and Bernardo Agundo. Now it's De Bruyne and Kovacic or Foden. Now you could have De Bruyne or Paqueta, Kovacic or Foden. Depth, people. Depth. That would be pretty good depth. I think we need to do our best to preserve De Bruyne. We need to really manage Kevin De Bruyne. He's already injury prone as it is, but he's so crucial to our winning philosophy that we need to look after Kevin De Bruyne. So is spending, think about it actually, I'm talking myself into it. Would spending 90 million on Paqueta, even though it's over what I believe he's worth, the extra money on top of what he's actually worth may justify us because we're preserving De Bruyne. Paqueta to rotate with De Bruyne. And he's also versatile. We need a winger. What do we think? I think it's depth, man. I think it's depth. And we also know Man City, like, there's not many players. Maybe Ederson, Rodri, Haaland. Ederson, Rodri, Haaland, and De Bruyne. They are 4 mainstays. They play the big games regardless. Everybody else, you can be rotated. You can be rotated. We're not like Arsenal where it's quite clear who our best 11 is. We're not like Liverpool where it's quite clear who our best 11 is. It's not like Man United. Pep rotates, and that has been a recipe for success. You can't knock it. I know we would all love to have, a set and concrete starting 11 week in, week out where we go, that's our best 11. We trust that 11. But what's worked for us is the fact that Pep is happy to rotate, depending on the fixture, depending on recent performances, depending on how they're training. You know what I'm saying? Big up Just Jenny P for the 11 months. His release clause is 85 next year. Paying 90 this year isn't bad. That's what I'm saying. If we're going to get him this summer, we're going to have to pay slightly more than what their release clause is next year. Think about it. Because they can just say no. Why would we sell for less than his release clause next summer when we can keep him for another year? And he's obviously a valuable asset to their team. And then sell him for 85 next summer. So City want him now. It's as simple as you'll probably have to pay more, or you will have to pay more than the valuation, or else you meet the release clause number and put in some very generous add-ons, some very generous bonuses that would really excite the West Ham owners. Because like I keep saying, chat, they hold the trump cards. Another super chat here from MCFC. He says, do you think we get Paqueta done? And it seems like Doku is most likely the winger, right? Well, it seems that City have interest in more than one player. They're actually open to going for more than one player before now and the end of the transfer window. I'm gonna say now that I believe we get Paqueta done. I believe we get Paqueta done. We have the 6-year contract agreed. Pep has supposedly spoken with Paqueta. We want Paqueta. I believe we get the deal done. Doku, I spoke about last night on a stream on HMTV. I said I don't know a huge amount about him, but I want to have a conversation about this while we're here, I suppose. Jeremy Doku, right? From what I know about him, he's a fast, tricky winger. I've seen people compare him to Adama Traore, which is not what I want to hear, but he's young. I think he's like 21. We play a very Porza style of football. We know this. The wingers drop deep. They retain the ball. They keep it moving. Doku will be a different option. The only conclusion I can come to with Doku is that he's just simply a different option. Give me your thoughts in the chat about Doku. Super chat here from Bilal Gabri Vega. I think that's dead in the water, Bilal. I can't lie. I think the Gabri Vega thing is dead in the water. And is he not on the verge of signing for someone? Gabri Vega? He's nothing like Adama. Listen, I've just made it clear, mate. I don't know much about Doku, but I've seen people saying he's a bit like Adama. Is he any good, chat? I know some of you are experts when it comes to football outside England. I'm not. So I need, Napoli. That's the one. Vega's on the verge of signing for Napoli. Yeah, Napoli. But Doku, the only conclusion I can draw up is a different option to our Porza ball retention style wingers. He likes Sterling. If he's like Sterling, I want him to be like Centurion season Sterling and Formidable season Sterling, not the Sterling that we had during the false 9 period. I want that electric grass burning winger. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at. With Lucas Paqueta. Like I said in summary, City have agreed a 6-year deal with Lucas Paqueta. Pep has supposedly spoken with him. City are nowhere near the valuation. I have told you my thoughts. I think a lot of you agree with me that if we want to sign Paqueta, we're going to have to go over his valuation. I've also promised you that if we sign Paqueta, that I'll get Big Steve to do a samba dance. He has no say in that. So I think we're going to wrap it up here. Anyway, big up to everybody who has super chatted. Big up for the member chats. Big up for everybody who's hit a like on the stream. If you haven't done so already, please do hit the like button. We have so many exciting things planned. I've already told you the fan cams are going to be sick. I'm so gassed to do the fan cams. I'm going to get the people you know from YouTube on the fan cams. I'm going to get regular fans you've never seen before, just coming straight out of the stadium to give their raw thoughts and emotions after games. So I'm so gassed for them. We've new shows coming, loads of exciting things. And I want to say thank you to every single one of you who've been just generally supportive over the last week or so, because you know a lot of changes happened on City Extra, and so many of you have been absolutely brilliant. So can't thank you enough. Subscribe if you're new around here. Like I said, giveaway when we hit 80k. There will be an FPL stream. Jordan is the man to talk to about that. I'm clueless when it comes to FPL. I'm totally clueless. So Jordan's the man. Another super chat here from didn't say I was screaming for Madison. Now Brand. You want Julian Brand from Dortmund? Madison, I backed Madison. I backed the idea of Madison earlier on the summer, but he's a Tottenham player now. He plays for Tottenham in North London without Harry Kane. That's another big piece of news. But listen, watch along tonight. Jordi Porty will be there, so come in and support Jordi Porty. I think he's going to be on his own. Make sure you show him all the love. Get the likes up early as soon as he schedules it. Get in there and chat to Jordi Porty. He'd love to see all of you. I will be coming on watch-alongs in the future when I'm not at the games doing fan cams. Trust me when I say this. You just have to take my word. There's a lot coming from City Extra. There is a lot coming from City Extra. So be excited, people. Be excited. Now, let me figure this out again. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. Nice transition out. There we go.